Let me ask you something powerful. Have you ever seen your future before it happened? Not with your eyes, but with your mind. Have you ever closed your eyes and felt the goosebumps of walking across a stage, cashing the check, shaking hands with the person you once only dreamed of meeting? If not, 2025 is your wake-up call. Because listen closely, you will never achieve what you can't first imagine. Your future is not decided by chance, it's shaped by the clarity of your vision. And if you can't see it, you can't seize it. We're in an era of speed, AI, opportunity, and distraction. But the ones who rise, the ones who dominate, the ones who live fulfilled, are those who can see the finish line before they even start the race. That's what makes visualization your greatest weapon in 2025. Not some woo fluff, but a laser-focused tool to reprogram your mind for greatness, because your brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. So why not feed it success? Visualization isn't just about imagining success. It's about building the architecture of your future, brick by brick, in the most powerful construction site on earth, your mind. When you consistently visualize your goals, your brain starts laying down mental blueprints. These blueprints aren't fantasy. They become instructions for your nervous system, your beliefs, your habits, and ultimately your results. You see, the mind moves towards what it focuses on. If you wake up every day seeing failure, problems, limitations, guess what? That's exactly where you'll end up. But if every morning you close your eyes and see the successful version of yourself making the call, closing the deal, helping others, walking into the body you've sculpted, living the relationship you've dreamed of, your body and mind begin to work toward that image like it's GPS locked. You can't help but move toward it. This isn't positive thinking. It's strategic mental conditioning. Top athletes use it. CEO use it. The world's greatest performers rehearse their future in their minds before they ever step on stage or into the arena. Why? Because when the moment comes, it's not foreign, it's familiar. They've been there 1,000 times. Their body knows the rhythm, their mind knows the pattern. So in 2025, you can't afford to be passive about your future. You must visualize not just the destination, but the steps, the phone calls, the reps, the risks, the smile on your face when you overcome the challenge. Because the clearer that mental movie, the more likely your brain is to say, I know this story, I'm ready to live it. And once your brain believes it's real, it starts aligning your decisions, actions, and emotions toward that reality. That's the magic. You're not forcing success. You're becoming it from the inside out. Let's go deeper. You've visualized your future. That's powerful. But now we need to add the fuel. And that fuel is emotion. Because visualization without emotion is like watching a movie with the sound off. You might see it, but you don't feel it. And if you don't feel it, your brain won't lock onto it. There's a system in your brain called the reticular activation system, or RAS. It's like a filter, a gatekeeper. It decides what information is important and what can be ignored. You've experienced it. Ever bought a new car and suddenly you see it everywhere? That's your RAS at work. It takes what's emotionally important to you and brings more of it into your awareness. So when you visualize your goals with emotion, when you feel the pride, the freedom, the gratitude, the power, your RAS kicks in and starts scanning the world for opportunities, people, and information that match that emotional target. And here's what most people don't understand. The RAS doesn't care whether your emotion is negative or positive. If you're constantly feeding it fear, worry, doubt, that's what it will filter for. You'll miss opportunities because your brain isn't even looking for them. But if you inject your vision with certainty, passion, and belief, your mind starts acting like a heat-seeking missile, locked in, guided, unshakable. In 2025, there's more noise than ever: social media, opinions, distractions. The people who win are the ones whose internal filter is tuned to greatness. That means visualizing with emotion so strong it moves you. You can't just think about the goal. You need to feel like it's already real. Your heart has to race. Your eyes have to light up. You've got to rehearse the moment like it's now, not some distant dream. Do that consistently, and your arrest starts opening doors that were invisible before. You meet someone you were meant to meet. You get a flash of insight. You say yes to something you would have ignored. That's not luck. That's your brain doing exactly what you trained it to do. Emotion isn't optional. It's the activator. It's the key to commanding your focus, your energy, and ultimately, your destiny. Clarity is power, not vague ideas, not half-hearted intentions. Clear, compelling vision. When you know exactly what you want with total specificity, your subconscious mind begins to take that vision as truth. And once your subconscious believes it, confidence is no longer a choice. It becomes your natural state. Your subconscious mind is like fertile soil. Whatever you plant in it repeatedly, especially with emotion, it begins to grow. But here's the secret most people miss. The subconscious doesn't respond to fuzzy pictures. It needs clarity, it needs details. If you say, I want to be successful, your brain doesn't know what that means. But if you say, I want to earn $200,000 this year doing what I love, speaking on stages, impacting lives, working with high-level clients. Now the subconscious has something to work with. You're not giving it a wish. You're giving it a mission. And this mission, when repeated through daily visualization, begins to create a new identity. It starts reshaping the beliefs that run your life. Instead of thinking, I'm not good enough, you begin to feel, I was made for this. Not because you forced yourself to believe it, but because you've seen it so many times in your mind that it feels real. And your mind, remember, doesn't distinguish between reality and vivid imagination. In 2025, confidence won't come from likes, followers, or applause. It will come from one source, certainty in your identity. An identity is built through repetition, through the ritual of seeing, speaking, and believing in the future you've already visited in your mind. That's how you rewire fear into faith. That's how you silence the doubt and elevate your worth. When your vision is clear, your choices become easier. You stop hesitating. You stop second guessing. You start showing up differently. Your posture changes. Your tone changes. People notice it, and they respond to it. Why? Because you're not waiting for the world to believe in you. You already do. That's the power of clarity. It reprograms the internal story, and that new story becomes the script for your destiny. Repetition is the mother of skill. But when it comes to creating lasting transformation, repetition with intention becomes the mother of destiny. And that's where daily visualization becomes your ultimate alignment tool. Not just a mental exercise, but a daily ritual that brings your focus, energy, and behavior into perfect sync. Here's what you need to understand. Every day, your focus is either being directed by you or stolen by the world. We live in the age of alerts, algorithms, and endless opinions. If you don't deliberately command your mind each morning, you will live reactively instead of powerfully. Visualization is how you seize control. It's how you program your focus before the world tries to hijack it. When you visualize daily, you set your internal compass. You decide, this is where I'm going, this is what matters, this is what I must do today. And that clarity sharpens your decisions. You stop chasing everything and start aligning with what truly matters. Distraction loses its grip because you've already seen the reward that discipline delivers. But focus alone isn't enough. Visualization also fuels your energy. When you feel the vision, when you rehearse success in your mind with detail and emotion, it elevates your emotional state. You go from tired to fired up. From doubtful to driven, you activate the chemistry of confidence, dopamine, adrenaline, momentum. That energy moves through your body. It shifts your posture. You start walking into your day like someone who's already achieved what they came for. And here's the most powerful part. Visualization doesn't just fire up your emotions, it conditions your behavior. Because once your brain sees the path clearly and feels it emotionally, your habits begin to align. You make the call, you do the rep, you show up differently. Why? Because your mind has already walked through the process. There's less resistance, less hesitation. Because it's not new anymore, it's familiar. And the brain loves familiarity. So you're not just thinking positively. You're conditioning your nervous system to become the person who already lives that reality. And when your focus, energy, and behavior align like that every single day, 2025 doesn't just become your year. It becomes the year that redefines your entire life. Fear is not the enemy. It's a signal, a call to rise, a test to see if your vision is stronger than your excuses. But most people get paralyzed by fear because they haven't trained their mind for the moment. They haven't rehearsed what victory looks like before stepping into the battle. That's where visualization becomes your greatest weapon. It lets you win the fight before it ever begins. Think about it. When you're afraid to speak up, make the call, take the leap, it's because your mind is rehearsing failure. You're seeing everything go wrong. You imagine being rejected, falling flat, losing face. And the brain, brilliant as it is, doesn't know it's just imagination. It floods your body with stress, tightens your chest, weakens your courage, and suddenly you retreat. But what if you used that same imagination to rehearse victory? To see yourself walking into the meeting calm and prepared. To feel the handshake, the nod of approval, the breakthrough happening in real time. Your brain would begin to associate that situation not with panic, but with power. That's the shift. You're not removing fear. You're replacing it with familiarity, with a sense of control, because repetition builds certainty. The first time you visualize success in a scary situation, it's exciting. The 10th time, it's familiar. The 100th time, it's inevitable. That's what elite athletes, performers, and leaders do. They don't hope for courage in the moment. They create it before the moment. In 2025, fear is going to show up. Whether it's in the form of change, challenge, or opportunity, it will knock. But if you've already seen yourself handle it, if you've already felt yourself overcome it, then when fear shows up, it won't shake you. You'll breathe into it, stand tall, and move forward, because your mind has already made it real. Visualization is mental armor. It builds a library of wins inside your nervous system. So when life demands the best version of you, you're not surprised. You're ready, you've been there, you've rehearsed it, and now it's your time to live it. Success is not something you chase. It's something you become, and becoming happens from the inside out. When you visualize your goals every single day with clarity, emotion, and repetition, something remarkable begins to happen. Your identity shifts. Your mind stops seeing it as a dream and starts recognizing it as truth. And the moment that shift takes place, you begin to embody it physically and emotionally. You walk differently. You speak with conviction. You show up in rooms like you belong there, not because someone told you so, but because your nervous system has already lived that version of you 1,000 times. That's the magic of daily visualization. You don't wait for permission to succeed. You start acting like the person who already has. Why is that so powerful? Because human beings act in alignment with who they believe they are. If deep down you believe you're broken, or not good enough, you'll subconsciously sabotage anything that contradicts that story. But if you start seeing yourself every day as powerful, valuable, and unstoppable, your choices start lining up with that image. You'll no longer tolerate average. You'll no longer settle. You'll take the action, have the conversations, and make the decisions that match the future version of you that you've rehearsed and felt over and over again. And guess what? Your body responds too. Confidence isn't just a mindset, it's a physiology. When you see yourself succeeding repeatedly, your posture improves, your breathing deepens, your voice strengthens, you carry a different energy, and people feel it before you say a single word. Visualization rewires not just how you think, but how you move through the world. It dissolves imposter syndrome, not by force, but by familiarity. You're not faking it. You've already become it in your mind, and now your body is catching up. So if you want to own 2025, don't just set goals. See them, feel them, become them. Make it a ritual. Make it non-negotiable. Because the more you step into that vision in your mind, the more it will manifest in your life. Not someday, now, not when everything's perfect today. The world doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you're ready for. And when you visualize it daily, you're not just ready. You're already living it.